Hey everybody, it's me, Cthulhuigi, and let's jump down the colossal hole. So actually I did a little bit of playing off-screen to investigate some stuff and just get a refresher since last time I recorded, and I was mistaken in thinking I had ever been in the next level in this sector before entering the East Crater. What I was thinking of is that I usually 100% at that level before doing a second thing in the, okay, yeah, here's where you use the big bash boots to break through the hard blocks, but yeah, and the part that was confusing is both of those levels are later numerically than the one that you unlock from the first of those two levels, so I think I was just remembering that oddity in general as a weird thing about the level order here. Because, like, level 5 is just straight up unlocked by the first treasure in level 7, and I have no idea what metric you could be using for ordering the levels where that level should be level 5, but we'll be getting to that a bit later. Okay, so you may have noticed the minigame clear block on the right side there. That is indeed the red key. What you have to do to get there is... There we go, that's the minigame. There are a variety of ways you can actually do that. I think you're supposed to get squished and then, like, fall down underneath there and climb up or something. But if you're clever, you can do it like this. I also remembered I could just straight up rewind. I think I, like, forgot that that was a feature alongside save states. Yeah, it's a little tricky because you can't just run right off the edge or jump. You have to give it a little finesse like that, but it is not faster if you don't have a way to get back up, per se, but I don't know, this level, like, still just feels very confusing. If I do the 100% music coins run through each level, this one is always an interesting one because, like, there are so many of these little areas here that I never feel like I have a great feel of, like, if I've actually explored everything in the level. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, you're supposed to jump up from there, and you can see the guy there who would unsquash you, but this is the cool Cthulhuigi strategy. And I will be utilizing rewinding for Call 5th. I think that we have probably gotten all possible enjoyment and narration out of golf, and we still haven't done the very complex 100% reward golf yet, which I think does have unique courses, so... Okay, I don't know what I was thinking there. Okay, I was... For some reason I thought that, like, the rough made your distance exponential and, like, just under... I have no idea what I'm even thinking about there. This is what I get for not playing this game in one sitting like I normally do. Can usually sort of just get into a golf zone and not worry about it. But anyway, there's another puzzle that you were supposed to use floaty Wario. It is probably one of the most annoying things in this game to try to actually get down there as floaty Wario, because if you're up or down by a single block, that's going to result in you... Also, you can get that music coin by preserving those blocks as a staircase, somewhat obviously. But yeah, if you're, like, not exactly sure of where you're supposed to drop off, it does not land. Like, you have to float all the way down to the bottom of the level very slowly, and then you go all the way back up, and it's better to use the Cthulhuigi trick, I think. So I had always remembered this as, like, a way later thing. I also thought I had 100%ed Pool of Rain, but I think I'm just, like, getting things mixed up with my most recent run that made me want to Let's Play it right when this got added on the Switch Online. Anyway, I'm playing this level wrong already. Well, I'm doing it as like a normal person would do, but if you're a cool Wario Land 3 trickster, you can leave a lot of these blocks there. Oh, actually, yeah, you can just you don't even have to do the barrel puzzle there, you can just jump over that one. Yeah, this whole area is kind of weird, because it's like almost just a test of how well you understand the jellyfish respawning mechanics. Don't be tricked, there's nothing for us yet back behind that wall. I always consider this like the final level, and I'm not sure why. I think I usually end up getting the last treasure from here just because it has like one of the last unlockables from a long string of non-essential level unlock type things. I'm trying to remember exactly what I'm doing here. Okay, yeah, first I'm getting this guy all the way up to get the key. I hope you like looking at that surprised frog sprite, because this is the best time in the game to take a gander. You don't actually need to get him up all the way. A weird bug maybe the developers forgot. Anyway, let's take a look in here. Oh, another frog, and this one can't be jumped. You might think you could slide under there, but I'm not aware of any secret strategies where that's possible. You're actually supposed to take this fire in there, and I'm trying to remember if there's like something weird with the way you're supposed to do that, or if it's just you're supposed to break both frogs with the fire. That might not be good enough. Let's see. Okay, it's pretty generous. I was thinking maybe you wanted to end up on... You probably still do, just for speed, want to end up, like, bouncing on that wall next to the top of the frog, so you're not at risk of becoming fiery very far away. Anyway, here's the last Metroidvania proper power-up item, and it's perhaps a little underwhelming compared to the high jump boots. I feel like those are really, like, the one that opens the most up. This just extends your ability to throw to big enemies, which you might have never been able to do that in Wario Land 2. I'm not really that well versed on Wario Land 2. Anyway, that's useful for a few things. Including the Castle of Illusions there, and I think that's where you ultimately unlock this next level in this sector. So as mentioned previously, every visit to the Castle of Illusions is a jaunt through this switch platforming puzzle to get to your desired floor. In this case, the red chest is in this second area here. I will open up the path for that while I'm here. Okay, I have to get... I forget, do I need to... I think I do need to throw him up there, yeah. Because the red chest is over on the other side of that pillar, which is breakable via enemy up there. Yeah, it's like not obvious that your upward throw actually has a limit to it like that. Anyway, that's good. It's weird how it can't display like the chest and enemy objects. I'm like kind of curious what this game is doing under the hood to handle the objects that's causing that. Like, I feel like Mario 3 is the only other game where I can think of that happening, and I know that's like more of a issue with how much of the level can be loaded in at one time, which doesn't really ever seem to be a problem in this. Okay, I don't know what I'm saying. I mean, in terms of like polished Nintendo platformers. Okay, I did that wrong. Believe me, there will be more than enough time spent in this area. Yeah, you just leave this switch off. And now you can use your ability to throw big guys to throw that bear. You go through this little funky area. I think there's a coin behind one of these. Oh no, there's not. This is, actually, I don't want to spoil it, but I believe I recall what is going on here. Huh, it's kind of hard to get to that. Yeah, if you're playing with the sound off, you could, like, not know that you got the red key there, and there's, like, a whole other section of the level that has one of the two other keys. I believe that's the blue, it's a 50-50 shot of being the blue one. One of them is up in those last two key room, or, treasure box rooms, and one is over on the other wing of the castle. I don't want to give the wrong idea. I do, like, enjoy this level a lot. As much as you have to, like, redo this so much, it's all pretty fast. There are definitely some levels that do get a little bit tedious in terms of what you have to redo, but I would say that the, this is a Castle of Illusion, the tower, having to do the fire puzzle every time, and then especially another level in that sector that will be unlocked much later, are probably the biggest offenders in terms of making you redo a lot of platforming for repeated objectives. I always thought this was, like, super cool. That's right, the Forest of Fear connects... I forgot that connects to the Peaceful Village and not into the woods. Because it's, like, at the same... It feels like it should be on the same height of the map. I guess I'd never noticed how much lower the horizon is on the east quarter than the north quarter. Huh. Either way, they're implied to be the same woods connecting on the north and east side there, which I think is a cool touch. Uh-oh. Gotta charge my controller soon. Anyway, let's go into the Forest of Fear. So, yeah, this is level 7, despite being the 6th level unlocked in this sector. It's a pretty quick level if you know what to do. This area has some sort of significance later, I think. Okay, it has significance right now, it's just you get zombified, and then you're supposed to learn that there's a drop-through platform that you can't see over on that left side. But there are other areas later that you can get to right now that don't do anything till later, and it's a little confusing, but I don't know, at this point in the game, I think they can get away with that. I don't know, this is just to mock you, I guess. That one feels like it's like you're getting away with something when you make that jump, but surely it's deliberate. And there we go. Pretty straightforward for what is, like, by some methods, the last level in the game. Like, if you consider E World 4 and 7 the 7th level in World 4, this is the last one in the last world, but what's this? This crazy clam. Opens up level 5? Yeah, and that's what I was talking about at the start of the part. This level frightened me and seemed super hard as a kid. It is not super hard, it's just confusing once you, like, understand how games are physically constructed and that, like, warps can arbitrarily be anywhere and take you to other parts of the level. It's really not that big of a deal, but it always filled me with, like, a real sense of mystery as a kid. It's fun times. Anyway, obviously we need to get either this spring bot free or that barrel down here to get the key. So let's just go through this wacky door. Oh, we're in 1. Yeah, honestly, that is pretty helpful if you are trying to get your bearings the first time. I have basically memorized this level layout. But yeah, this level has an interesting relationship with the Forest of Fear in that most of the treasures there open up objectives here and vice versa. And that's what I was alluding to, that I normally like got all of the treasures out of Forest of Fear before I went back to the East Crater, because you need stuff for that. Also, I should have freed him with that barrel instead of going directly for the key. That's the noob trap of this level. Except, actually, if you remember, the first treasure is literally just right at the start, so... But for future reference, you want to be freeing the Bonko-matic. The steering wheel. It's sort of interesting that in 2001 they predicted the Wii wheel for Mario Kart Wii. Maybe we should all be paying a little more attention to Wario games if we want to know about the future of the Nintendo. I like that little sprite going up. I guess that's the last time you get like one of those things in the overworld. Like just showing the state of the level changing. Because yeah, I'm trying to think, there's like plenty of more things that change the state of other levels, but most of the time you just get a little animation, if that. It was really mostly the earlier parts of the game where you see a visual change permanently in the overworld. There we go. Yep, and astute observers will notice this pipe is no longer underground. This is a very interesting section. It's based on a mechanic that only shows up a couple times. These, like, platforms that enemies can walk on, but you can't. And a mechanic that shows up more than a couple times, these birds that sting you. They're like really omnipresent in some of the most annoying areas. Oh yeah, this is also like a weird level that becomes slightly more difficult at night because the spear guys will be sleeping and you have to wake them up. But you're basically just trying to escort them over here so you can use them for the throw blocks. I forgot this was the green treasure. I don't even remember what the red treasure is. I think that might be from a different level. Bum, bum, bum. And now you have a slightly different escort mission, which is, can you carry the spear guy without becoming Draculaed? The answer may surprise you. I forget, is that the blue treasure back there? I think it is. I don't think it's just for that. Surely it couldn't be. Right, I remember this part. Yeah, you have to get the bouncy guy over here to get up to this area, but... Wait, is that really... just a... like, because you couldn't get here without being able to throw big enemies. Definitely just wasting a bunch of time because obviously I could just go... Oh, this is the red area? I did not realize that you unlocked 2 objectives at once that way. That's kind of weird. And then the key is in here, I assume? Well, I guess I'll get that because I'm here. And I guess I'll just come right back on in. That's pretty interesting. I guess, like, it makes sense that this kind of thing would be happening this late in the game, because it's not like they can gate stuff behind getting more Wario powers, but that is a kind of tricky throw. It's just once you know that it's kind of tricky and you're being deliberate about it, it's not that tricky anymore. But that can be frustrating if you're parked on the one side of that water and just do a regular toss, it won't work. And I think if you do a full toss, it'll destroy the enemy on the platform past there. I don't know, don't quote me on that. And what do we got in here? Exciting, a red key card. I forget, does it show this? Okay, it only shows it once you get both. I believe the next treasure I'm going to get in this area is just going to be a blue key card, and they will do something that you will see when I collect it. I'm not 100% on that. It might be a different treasure in here, or I might be oversimplifying the locations. But anyway, here's the version of this puzzle that you don't have to wake up the spear guy for. Day-night mechanics really shining. I don't think there was any reason for me to do that. Oh wait, there was. Ahahaha. I have bad short-term memory. Dude. I like how the garlic bags here just like unceremoniously turn you to regular Wario with no animation or anything. I kind of wish more of the hazards for transformations were like that. I guess there's not that many transformations that you're like hiking around all over the place besides the vampire though. Most of them have pretty limited movement. I guess really what I'm saying is I wish Fire Wario was more normal. Okay, yeah, this isn't the key card. This is... The fourth treasure might very well still be the blue key card, and that would be funny. Red treasure, red key card, blue treasure, blue key card. Anyway, we turned off those particular warps in the Warped Void. And we still got a decent amount of time to meet the expected half-hour length of these videos, so I guess I'm just gonna keep blasting through these two while they're feeding into each other. There were those floaty blocks that floated up in Bank of the Wild River and the Pool of Rain. Maybe I'll get to those if this doesn't unlock something else. But I think it will. Yeah, this entire area just, like, made me really uneasy as a kid, but that's kind of ironic because it's uneasy to do. Very spectacle-based. Okay, yeah, that's just... Okay, you do need to go somewhere else to get something to continue that. Unless that unlocked multiple... I don't think that unlocked multiple objectives there, and if it did, we'll have to go back for them later. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just do the two that we unlocked at the start for Pool Rain and Bank of the Wild River. It is not here, it is, I think, past the middle-ish. Yeah, there was a door underneath that weird thing that used to not have air in it, I guess. Can I accomplish anything this way? Right, you're not supposed to go up there unless you want the music coin. This is a... Ah! Don't platform that much. Platforming challenge is what I was going to say. Yep. There we go. This is a weird I don't know why there's no... I guess it's just because they couldn't have put the music coin on the top there if it had a ceiling tile. But it always makes me think, oh, do you get to go back to the upper part of this level that way? And no, you do not. Also, yet another jellyfish escort. Sorry, I know I keep saying I will. I gotta go to Dr. Mario 64 and look up the name of this guy. It's a pretty good joke how the floor on that next screen is like literally right on the tile above where you can see, so you have to remember or learn that you want to be all the way over on the left 2 tiles there. That's the kind of challenge you come to Wario Land 3 for. Oh, I'm getting a lot of crayons this time. Did you know there was a crayon character in Mario Paint that has official art? I learned that recently. I hope this knowledge helps you in some way. And this one takes the... Like, what are... I always, like, saw them as switch caps from Mario 60... Or, like, the colored switches from Mario World and Mario 64. But inside a glass container, and that surely isn't what they're actually supposed to be. They're just a crazy thing for a crazy game. Oh, and interestingly, I think this has come up before, but yeah, conversely to the hanging garlic, which just instantly transforms you back, you just cannot even, I'm like holding right now, you cannot fly, and you can even perch on these waterfalls. It's only the running, or well, I was gonna say it's only the running water in form of droplet that can transform you, as according to vampire lore, but I think most people would say that waterfalls count as running water. Oh my god. Yeah, I get it. Low battery. This is another one of the classic transformation stacking puzzles, although there's a subtle little difference that I kind of forgot about here, that you have to turn into regular Wario, and now, instead of being a vampire, you're trying to not be a vampire. And likewise, you're trying to not be on fire until later you are trying to be on fire. But first, I want to... I should probably remember exactly where I'm taking that before I get too worked up. Okay, I need to not be jumping because that just delays it. Did you know that fire destroys little rocks? Gotta just hop up to the top to refresh my... Yeah, okay, clear that out. Okay, right, because you can't actually ascend with these. And I hope you won't find me too casual for doing that. I don't think that there is going to be much interesting gained from the time-only penalty for making that mistake. And now, this is actually one of the few times that, like, a hazard or, like, a level element will interact with multiple transformations, because the water drops also will cure burning Wario, although you kind of have to be trying to see that interaction. Actually not sure how burning Wario interacts with the waterfalls. Anyway, it's a spaceship from Wario's Spaceship. And I think I'm gonna call this part there. Thanks for watching, everyone. Next time we will be heading to a town in chaos and utilizing our big throwing gauntlets there and unlocking some progress. Semper Games.